Alright, hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sneaky Tech Travels. Okay, for this episode, I do understand that from the last episode that you've watched, napansin niyo na nag-iba yung setup nung Raptor natin, nung rig natin. So they call it rig, no? So a lot of people are asking ano yung mga binago natin at bakit natin binago. And I think from the last episode, I think during the time that we started to put some accessories on this car, there have been some observations that we did and some adjustments that we did because of certain things, no. And again, at this point in time, yung accessories or yung mga binago natin on this car is still a journey because I think the reality is every time you add something on your car, yes, it does looks good. But the thing is that minsan may mga issues or may mga concerns pa rin na lumalabas because we've added that thing on our car. So sometimes, minsan nga sinasabi nila, di ba, less is more, no? So if you leave it as it is, the less would be your concerns, di ba? But for some, of course, definitely, just like us or just like me, no, we would still love to put some additional add-ons or accessories on our cars because for some reasons, because it looks better on our perspective, and sometimes naman, more often than not, the reason why we're doing it, it's because there is a certain purpose why we purchased that vehicle. In our case, the purpose of this vehicle is actually for car camping, and I'll love to walk you through in terms of that journey so that you would also get some tidbits of some inputs in terms of the experiences that I had, no. So let me start with some items that would never change. Actually is still the RTT and the awning that we've installed since day one, no. I'm happy with this. Again, disclaimer ulit, your money, your car, your choice, no. Purchase whatever makes you happy and not what other people would think, because at the end of the day, ikaw pa rin ang gagamit ng sasakyan mo at hindi ang ibang tao. So going back to what I've been saying, no, for RTTs and awnings, there's a gazillion of options out there which are actually good, no, and very cost efficient. But from our case, I still retain and I still love using the iCamper Mini 3.0 Skycamp Mini and the ExoShell 270. So I think from the previous video you've already seen how it looks like whenever we deploy it. Okay, so quick disclaimer pala ulit. Before we go to the next item that I've modified on this car, none of these items is sponsored. None of these items is something that I personally endorse. We're not being paid actually to feature these items. The inputs that I do is just based on my personal experience. So if there are things that I could subtly recommend, that's because that product or that item works best for my case. So at the end of the day, you still have your choice, you still have your money, your decision, your choice. So the first item that we've changed from our previous setup is the tent rack. The tent rack. So if you would recall, the first tent rack that we've used is actually the PIAA racks. No, there is a pros and cons that I've seen for both racks, which I also wanted to highlight on this video. But I think for now, let's focus on this new one for the replacement, and I'll also tell you the downsides of this one compared to the other one, and I'll also tell you the advantages of this one over the previous one. All right, so this RTT rack is made by a company called Hammer. So they call this the RTT Rack Gladiator. Yeah, Hammer. Right. Okay. Now as I've said, there are a lot of variations of the RTT Gladiator RTT Rack. I just don't know exactly what's the model number of this one. You can Google it. But this one is actually made of iron or steel. No? Bakal to. Now, if you would notice, it's more sturdy. No, it's more sturdy. And meron siyang lights. No, meron siyang lights that comes with the rack itself. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then dun sa kabila another 4. So we have a total of 8 lights. So these lights can be illuminated pag night, pag gabi, when you're on the camping site. But of course, it's not ideal for you to turn it on while you're on the highway kasi pag may nag-overtake, medyo mabubulag yung mga kasamahan niyo, and it's not right for you to do that, no? And those lights are wired towards dun sa dito sa controls ng Raptor. Dito. So naka-wire siya dito. Okay? So if you recall, meron to yung mga merong auxiliary ports si Raptor wherein you could connect some of the auxiliary lights that you intend to input on your car, no? Now this one is pretty much sturdy compared to the AA rack, no? It looks okay for me, no? However, one thing that you need to take into consideration, and one caveat of this is, number one, since this is steel, no, bakal siya. Obviously, as far as the weight is concerned, mabigat siya compared to the AA rack, which is made of aluminum. So, yung bigat niyan, yung bigat nito pagdating sa overall weight nung kakargahan ng sasakyan mo, malaki. Okay? Malaki, mabigat siya, no? That's number one. And number two is that since this is made of steel, this is susceptible to rusting, or pwede siyang kalawangin. As a matter of fact, okay, since this is an honest to goodness review, this rack has just been installed less than 2 weeks pa lang, no? 2 linggo pa lang to. Pero pag tinignan mo yung loob niya, ayan, no? I hope you can see it clearly. May kalawang na, ayan, no? Doon sa gilid, no? May mga kalawang na siya. So that's actually the downside of this rooftop tent rack, no? Since it's made of steel. Now, ideally, my suggestion is if you're able to come up, or if you're able to source a rooftop tent rack that's made out of other materials other than bakal, which is not susceptible to corrosion, then get that, no? For this case, syempre again, later ko na siya napansin na nangyayari pala yun, no? But I have to tell you, the coating of this rack is good. It's just that meron talagang parts dito na hindi maiiwasan siguro na hindi na cover nitong coating na to, tulad nito. Yan, yung angle na to. May bakal yan na kausli, no? May bakal yan na nalitaw dito. So kapag inulan yan, like for this one, this is a classic example. I hope my camera can catch this, no? Yan, no? Meron na agad siyang kalawang sa gilid. So 2 weeks pa lang to, may mga kalawang na dun sa mga items na, sa mga parts na naka-expose yung bakal. Of course, ditong mga rivets na to, I'm not sure if you call it rivets or mga screws na to, this is stainless steel. But this one is actually made of bakal. So it's susceptible to rusting. Now, I'm not sure though if there's a way for you to powder coat it, or to I don't know, to rust proof it, the entirety of this rack, no? I'm not even sure if how much would that cost. But if that's possible, then I won't have any qualms about this rack, no? For my taste, no, it does look better than the first one, the AA rack. But again, the downside is rusting, no? It's susceptible to rusting. Now, I've seen some of the people who use this rack wherein they body colored it, no? Ginaya yung kulay ng katawan dun sa rack, no? I'm not sure though if once they did it, no, hindi na siya susceptible to rusting. So again, you have to keep in mind that whenever you purchase this rack, keep in mind of the possibility that it's gonna be susceptible to corrosion. And if there's a way for you to already inform your shop na kung may paraan siya na ma-rust proof, do it as early as possible. Kasi there are instances, and I have to tell you, no, I have to be honest, kapag umuulan yan, may mga patak ng may mga patak yan ng kalawang minsan dito. May pumapatak na kalawang dito. Nalinis ko lang siya kasi right now. But after umuulan, may mapapansin kami mga patak ng may mga patak na maliliit na patak ng rust, no, kalawang. Dito actually meron dito. Nilinis ko na nga lang, hindi lang kita siguro ngayon dito. Diyan, may mga patak yan. So, yun lang. So far it still serves my purpose, still looks good. But I think the next But I think the next step for me is to find out in terms of how to rust proof this rooftop tent rack. Okay, alright, moving on. So the next item that we've modified on this setup was in terms of how the RTT is attached to this rack. So we've used this, what we call quick release. So this quick release attachment to attach the rooftop tent on this rack. You have to remember that for the iCamper 3.0 mini and even the larger one, the 4X Skycam, it really comes with a clamp that enables you to clamp it on the RTT racks, no? But the challenge here is that the Hammer Gladiator, medyo malapad siya, no? Malapad siya actually, to the point that the clamp that comes with this iCamper is not enough to really embrace this rack, no? So the good thing about the good solution that we did is to take that thing off and replace it with this quick release. So mas madali siyang tanggalin. So we've actually attached 4 of this, isa, dalawa, and 2 more at the front. So if you're going to look it in hindsight, mas malinis siyang tignan, no? Again, this is from my perspective, but of course if the situation was yung width nito was enough for that clamshell to embrace that, I wouldn't have gone for this one. But I think it still works good on this kind of setup. Malinis pa rin siyang tignan, and since quick release siya, madali siyang tanggalin. Another thing worth noting, by the way, was this part, no? In terms of how this RTT rack was able to handle this awning, the iCamper X Social awning. Honestly, this one is mabigat. Mabigat siya kasi malaki siya, no? So it's a 270-degree awning. Now, compared to other awnings na it's just one way when you deploy it, no? This being that this actually covers a much larger coverage. You have to keep in mind that this awning is relatively heavier than the average awning, no? So if you're going to notice, no, we've placed the brackets. I call it bracket number 1 and bracket number 2. But the shop who built this actually suggested to me to come up with a 3rd bracket to support this, no? To be frank, I think the guy did an excellent job in terms of adding another bracket here to support this awning, no? So tatlo ngayon yung suporta niya, para kapag ginagamit mo siya, hindi siya matagtag or hindi siya gumagalaw, dahil meron siyang 3rd support here, and it's also bolted here, no? Now the way it's been designed, pretty much it does look, no, part of the original RTT rack. So kudos to Romel of Photobot for doing this, no? It's really good. I just really hope that this doesn't corrode. Hindi agad siya magkalawang agad tulad nung nasa likod natin dito. Yan. Sinabi ko na kanina yan, may kalawang agad siya. So let's see. It is what it is, and let's see how it goes. So let's see how this look like when it's turned on, no? Although umaga ngayon, hindi natin makita talaga yung ano niya, kung gaano siya kalinaw. I think it was here. So ayan siya. Ayan, maliwanag siya. Ayan. Okay. There's the other one. And from this side, yan, isa, there, and there. So siguro for you to have an idea kung gaano kalakas siya, siguro from here, that light can actually go across two blocks away, no? Ganun siya kalakas pag gabi. Kaya sinasabi ko nga, it's really not ideal that you're gonna turn it on when you're driving, kasi makakabulag yan, no? Takaw-awa yan. Now you can only use this when you go on a secluded off-beaten path na talagang madilim. But again, since this is tapped on the engine, no, ideally, if you intend to use it for long, no, you might as well consider coming up with an onboard power para pwede mo siyang gamitin more than an hour, no, of use. Otherwise, madidiscard yung baterya mo, or hayaan mo lang nakabukas yung kotse mo habang nakailaw siya. Okay? So the next item that we've actually changed for our initial setup was the cover, the bed cover. So if you would remember dun sa initial setup natin, we've used the Top Flip Ultimate. But since we've decided to, for my purpose, later to find out that I wanted really to have an RTT tent for this car, then that opted me to come up with a roller cover for this. No, again, I'm not recommending it. Your money, your car, your choice. But for this purpose, where I decided to come up with an RTT, I think the best option for me on this setup is actually having a roller lid for this one. And for this one, I actually use the Hammer Ultimate roller. So this is automatic. This is mechanical. There are a lot of options in the market. Again, I'm not endorsing this, but this is the one that I chose. So it comes with a controller, no, where you can switch it to open and close. There's also a control inside the car sa gilid nito, sa loob. But most of the time, it's actually installed here sa loob. I opted, it's medyo madilim dito, basta sa ilalim siya. Yeah, this one. Ito siya, no? Yan. So ideally, they will ask you na magbutas ng konti dito sa dashboard. Pero I opted na, ayoko kasing butasan yung dashboard. So pinalagay ko na lang siya dito sa ilalim. But basically, whenever you control this one, I make use of the remote control on the key fob. So, yeah. So, this one, if you press it here, it opens up. Okay, so nakita niyo yung ibang accessories that we've actually purchased, which we will also cover on this episode, no, on this video. And then when you close it, ganyan siya. Okay. Now, just to put a better context on this one, the reason why I wanted to have that roller lid is that I can still maximize the space, no, tong spasyo na to, from the cover, from the lid cover up to this one, no, up to that point. So if you open this up, pwede mo pa rin lagyan to ng mga gamit na kahit mas mataas pa dito, basta buksan mo lang siya on that part. Now you have to keep in mind that I think for all other roller covers, especially if it's mechanical, meron talagang spasyo na masasacrifice dito, no. Now I think for other roller lids na which is not mechanical, which is not automatic, medyo konti lang yung space na kukuhanan nila. So let me show you, no, what I'm talking about. So if you're going to look at that, no, yan, meron dyan, yan, yung part na yan, yung part na yun, kumain yun ng konting space, no. But it's very negligible, no? It depends on the user, no? It depends on the truck owner if it's negligible or not. But for my case, it's perfectly fine. And it also comes with a light. Hindi kasama yung ilaw na to. So may purpose yan mamaya when I feature those things that I purchased, no? We purchased. So this one, you can control it. Yan. Oh, yan. So, pwede mo siyang ibahin yung intensity ng kanyang ilaw. 3 levels yan. So, hindi mo na kailangan maglagay pa ng ibang ilaw para, kasi yung una nating cover, which is the Top Flip Ultimate, wala talaga siyang ilaw. But, and then you need to put a different light kasi pag gabi hindi mo makita halos yung nasa loob niya, no? Unless you use your phone or a flashlight. But this one already comes with the light. So this one, you can turn it on, you can turn it off. Okay, which is actually very helpful, especially at night. Okay, before we get onto the accessories or before we got into the items that I purchased na nakita nyo sa loob nito, which by the way we will tackle in depth on a separate video and along with the review if it's okay or not, no. The next item that we've changed on this setup is actually this third brake lamp, or they call it chaser lights. This is the rigid chaser lights. Again, this is not a recommendation. This is more, for me, this is more of a want rather than a need. For some, they may see it as a need more than a want. Kasi the lights at the back of the Raptor itself is more than enough to make you visible on the road. Pero ito kasi for me, this is something that I love nung nakita ko itong produkto na to, no? It adds, well, pampapogi. Ewan ko if that's the right term, no? For my liking. For some, hindi siya pampapogi, no? Pero for my liking, since our money, our car, our choice, and sa paningin natin, if this is something that makes you happy, makes you feel good, then by all means, get it, no? Now, this is the rigid chaser lights. The good thing about this one for me is that it makes you more visible at night. So on top of the two tail lights that we have, there's some compensation on the lighting that this rigid chase bar provides, no? Maraming klase itong chase bar na to, may mahaba na ganyan, which is I think this is 14 inches or 13 inches, I forgot, no? Meron ding maliliit, no? But I chose this one para isa lang siya dito. So it looks neat, no? This can be configured with a lot of designs. I'm not sure if the term is design, but in terms of the lighting, no, this can be configured I think 300,000 times based on their promotion, no. Let me show you how it looks like. And this only actually turns on during park light, pag naka-park light ka and pag naka-brake ka, no. So ang ilaw nito can be configured once it's on park lights, yung pag nakabukas yung ilaw mo pag gabi. Turning signals, you have left and right. You also have the stop, no. Sa reverse yata wala siya unless you have to take one of the things that I mentioned earlier on in replacement for the reverse. So let me show you how it looks like, no, para ma-appreciate niyo. But we just have to turn on the engine so you could see it. There you go. So that's how it looks like, no. Yeah, pag naka-on yung parking lights ninyo. I think you would appreciate more if we shoot this at night, mas kitang-kita siya. But this is how it looks like, no. I'm sure this video cannot do justice in terms of how this light looks like in actual, no. So let's try to turn on the signal light so you can see. Yeah, so yun yung turn ng signal niya for left. Tingnan natin yung sa kabila. Ayan, ito naman yung sa kanan. So pasensya na, no, since we're just a small channel, wala tayong cameraman, so ako lahat gumagawa. So how I wish I could ask someone to film this para nakikita niyo yung transition. So ito yung pakanan, then i-hazard natin. So kapag naka-hazard siya, that's how it looks like. Yan. No. Yan. Now, okay. So we went back to the park light. Now, there is a way for you to reprogram this. Marami siyang options, honestly, no. And this is something that I really love about this chaser lights, no. The guy who installed this placed a push button here that enables you to change how it looks like. Yan. So, pwede siyang bright, pwede siyang ganyan. Let me, yan. So, may ganyan siya. Okay, let me see here. Meron siyang ganyan. Pwede rin ganyan. So I think this one you can use for reverse if you want to reprogram this for reverse. Ayan, this one is something that I like also, no. This is yellow, this is blue, but this one looks good. It's just a bit bright lang. So we push this, ganyan siya. Pag kanan, signal light. Pag kaliwa, ayan siya. Right, there's also green and orange. So signal light, that's how it looks like. Signal light, that's how it looks like. Press it. Yeah, it can look like that one. Pag hazard. This one. Pwede rin ganyan. Okay. Solid yellow, pwede rin. Something like that. I think this is a light that's being used for off-road na ATVs. Yung professional off-road ATVs. This is actually the main purpose of this chaser lights, no. Ayan. Pwede ring dalawa. So it looks simple and nice pag dalawa siya. Ayan. And pwede rin siyang ganyan. And yung kanina. Okay. So quite frankly, this is one of the favorite changes that add-ons that I did for this setup, no, these chaser lights. Although I have to tell you, no, but in terms of the price point, I would say, if you're talking about practicality, and this is an honest take, no, if you're talking about practicality in terms of the use, the price really is hard to, it's really hard to justify the price of this light, no? There are a lot of options that you could put in just for a third brake lamp, no? In terms of a want, if you really want this, and if it makes you feel good in terms of putting it on your car, then I don't think that, you know, the price would be an issue. Sabi ko nga, no, purchase whatever makes you happy, and do not purchase things based on what other people say, no? Kahit lagyan pa natin ng kabayo yan sa harap, kahit lagyan pa natin ng kabayo pa yan dito, yung parang yung mga PUJ, kahit lagyan pa natin ng kabayo yung harap ng sasakyan natin, kung doon tayo masaya, kahit ano pang sabihin ng ibang tao, no, whatever other people say, that's not important, because at the end of the day, tayong gagamit ng sasakyan natin. So that's actually my perspective on this light, no. Again, I'm not recommending this, but it really depends if you want this, no. It's more of a want for me rather than a need. So I think sa pananaw ko, it adds a bit of beauty on our setup. So I'd rather take that, no. I'd rather take that. All right. So as far as the external changes that we've done on our rig, pretty much that's it. Apart, of course, pala, I forgot to mention, we've also tried to change the horn, yung busina. We've installed, I think, 3 sets of PIAA horn on this car. Minsan kasi masyadong maliit yung busina nung stock, no? So we've decided to change it to something na babagay dun sa laki ng sasakyan. Again, I'm not saying that the stock is bad, stock busina is bad. Again, it's your choice. If it fits your taste, then go ahead. If it doesn't, then keep it as it is. Okay, now now for some of the good stuff, I would also wanted to share some of the items which we purchased that's gonna stay on this car, that's really intended for car camping, no. We'll try to do a much in-depth review of each item in order for you to have a better appreciation, in order for me to better cover each of these items. But for now, let me quickly walk you through on these items that I purchased for your reference. Okay, so let's buksan natin tong likod. Okay, and let's open it up so we can better see. All right, so the first item that we've tried to purchase is this electric power station. Okay, let's turn this thing on. All right, it's at 99%, 100% charged, no. So this power station is can actually give us 1,000 kilowatt hour of power. So depending on your need, this power station comes on different sizes or different configurations, no, depending on the things that you intend to bring on your campsite. Now, I've tried to purchase this one, the Ecoflow Delta 2. Again, this is not sponsored, but I think since this is a test purchase, from the basic items that I wanted to bring on the campsite, this power station initially should be more than enough to power the items that the electric items that I intend to bring on the campsite. Initially, I wanted to get the bigger one on this one, but naisip ko na it makes sense for me to purchase small similar items like this, so that, say for example, since this is actually mobile, no, pwede mo siyang tanggalin sa sasakyan, no, kasi may mga onboard power tayo na ginagawa for overlanding, no, for car camping. But since this one, you can take this thing out, no, pwede mo alisin to sa sasakyan mo, no, pwede mo siyang tanggalin, no. Okay, if you're going to get a higher kilowatt power station, so law of physics, mas malaki siya, mas mabigat. So kung isa lang siya, it's gonna stay in one place. So if you decided, say for example, if you bring in your laptop here and then you also have a fridge there or certain accessories that needs power, wala kang choice but ikabit lahat yun or ilapit sila lahat dito, no. Now the advantage naman for you purchasing a separate unit, so with the same kilowatt hour, no, you can actually use the other one unit of this and put it on a separate location, no? So you can that 2 units can actually run in parallel, pero hindi sila kailangan magkasama or magkatabi, kasi if you're gonna get the bigger one, lahat na yon, kung nasan man yung power station mo, lahat dapat ng gamit na paggagamitan mo dapat malapit dun sa power station, no? So we'll see later on, we'll do a separate review on this, no, separate episode on this para madali nating ma-appreciate. Now the second one is, I think everyone is very aware of this. This is actually let me put this aside now. This is the Starlink. No? I know a lot of people would say, oh, bakit ka kukuha ng internet kaya ka nga lumalabas? You're going off-grid para you can detach yourself from the world. No? Now, again, to each his own. No? To each his own. I think for my purpose, there are two things. No? Number one is that if I go off-grid and there are certain items that I still need to do for work, no, I still need to keep myself online. The only way that I could get an internet connection is via Starlink, no. And second is that also for emergency purposes. I know again there are several gadgets specifically made for that, like the Garmin, no, or may mga ano pa satellite phones that you could use for an SOS, no. But to me, at least, no, if when push comes to shove and I need an internet connection and send a request for an SOS, no, I can still use the Starlink. Again, your money, your choice, whatever serves your purpose, then buy it. So for me, that's the Starlink. Starlink mobility. Kinuha ko dito is the mobility. This is not the fixed one na nasa residential, no. I think as of filming this video, the rate that Elon Musk is charging for mobility is I think 3,300 per month, inclusive of the taxes, no. So yun, no. Okay, next item, something that I am very excited about is actually this. Let me put this aside now. This is the refrigerator, the ref, and this is, they call it the Ecoflow Glacier. So let's try to turn this thing on. Ayan siya. There you go. Okay. So the thing about this one is that since we're also using the same brand as the power station, everything actually, later on I will showcase that one. Everything works in one ecosystem. So lahat na to, pwede itong i-control sa app, no. Later I'll show you, no. So this is actually a portable ref. Now the good thing about this ref is that there is already a built-in battery inside, detachable battery inside. Because for most refs na portable, no, it has to be connected always to the power station. But this Ecoflow has its own battery at the back. So I'll show you on a separate episode how this thing looks like, no. So I don't want to make this episode too long. But I think the thing that's quite interesting also about this ref, although I know for a fact that it could just be a gimmick, no, for this product, but charan! There's an ice maker for this ref. So you can actually create ice out of this one, no. So pwede yung gumawa ng yelo dito. So papakita ko sa inyo on a separate episode how this is being done, no. May ice maker to, and you can bring this stuff wirelessly, no. Gumagana to kasi meron nga siyang onboard or pwede siyang detachable power na baterya na pwedeng i-attach dito, no. And just like the rest of the Ecoflow system, again, this is not sponsored, this can also be controlled via app. As a matter of fact, mas madali siyang kontrolin over app, no. And this ref, no, this portable ref also comes with a roller. Pwede siyang lagyan ng gulong at saka pwede siyang lagyan ng telescopic na hatakan. Hindi ko lang siya kinabit ngayon. Sa next episode natin, I'll show it to you for an in-depth review of this item, no. Again, since these are just new purchases, so we'll see how it goes, no. So yan siya. This can be dual and single. So ibig sabihin ng dual, pag binuksan natin, buksan natin siya. Ayan. Dalawa siya. So dual. So kaya dalawa to. Pag tinanggal natin to, magiging isa na lang to. So pwedeng freezer yung isa, pwedeng chiller yung isa. Ito pwede itong tanggalin. So pag tinanggal mo, nagiging isa na lang siya. So isa na lang yung temperature nitong isa. Ito pwede mo siyang ikabit dito sa gilid. Ayan. So when we put it back, balik ulit siya sa dalawa. Okay? So they call it the Glacier, no? So the next item that we've actually purchased is a portable air conditioner. Okay, again, I'm traveling with my kids, no? Again, some people would say the reason why you're camping is for you to enjoy the nature. Okay, again, to each his own, kanya-kanya yan, no? But there are, based on our initial experience, sometimes may mga pupuntahan kami na medyo maalinsangan to the point that the kids are actually not comfortable sleeping, no. Medyo hirap talaga sila, no. Again, until they can get themselves acclimated with all these things, no, with all this car camping, we just got this one for instances that they need some extra comfort, no. But again, depende sa inyo yan, no. Now this is the Ecoflow, I think they call it Wave 2. This is the Glacier, so this is the Wave 2. So this is a portable air conditioner. We'll also cover it separately over a separate video for some details on this. No, I also tried to purchase a battery for this, specifically for this one. But this aircon can be powered directly over direct current. So pwede mo saksak sa bahay to. And if you're going to bring it over camping, no, off-road, off-grid, there is another battery that you could use this, no. You can also get rid out of this battery. Pwede mo hindi gamitin to, pwede mo rin tong isaksak dito sa power station mo, no. So you have options. There are a lot of options there to power this thing off. And meron din tayong solar panel that we've actually purchased. I'll show you later on, no. All right. Now, the other item that we've purchased is this one, no. This is the solar panel. So what they're saying is this is a monocrystal silicon cells. So hindi ko lang alam kung ano ibig sabihin nun. Basta silicon cells daw siya. So medyo mabigat siya, but what they're saying is if you're going to compare it with the typical na solar panel, mas mabigat talaga yon. So this one really is intended to go mobile. So magaan na to. So huwag na daw tayo magreklamo. Huwag na raw ako magreklamo. So try to change the view. There you go. Ayan. So, yan. Ganyan siya. It's a solar panel. That one. So, if depending on the usage of these three items, let's see if there's a need for us to purchase this, more of this. But ako naman siguro, dun pa lang sa first episode natin, takot pa tayo lumayo no? But I'm just bringing this just in case at least we're ready, no? So, this one really is intended to supplement the power for these three. No, kung wala ng baterya, pwede tayo mag-charge dito sa solar panel. Alright, so pretty much I think that's it muna for this episode. No, the stuff that we purchased for the camping, for car camping, is something that we're going to cover in detail on our next episode. No, as always, no, with an honest to goodness review, or that would enable me to see if this items really serves its purpose, specifically at the price point, if that's something that's worth your money, hard-earned money, no. And I do hope that gives you some guidance in terms of how do you want to modify your own car, or if this car actually suits your purpose or not, no. So at the end of the day, again, nothing on this video or nothing on this vlog is sponsored. So I have the liberty to provide you with an honest to goodness take on all the items that we're actually featuring on our channel. Yon, so I think pretty much that's it. As always, I'd love to know your thoughts on the comment section down below. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Till next time, maraming salamat.